hanging out again with Chuck Akulis. I originally called him to do one interview, and here's the third one we did on the same day. I hope you picked up the first two. The first one was about the car in the Hall of Fame, and the second one kind of picked up with his career in 1960 for what was called the Greenhorn Race, which was basically where a lot of people ran their very first time. So let's head on down to Windsor, New York. Chuck Akulis joins us right here. He's fighting a little bit of a cold, so he's been drinking water just like me up here. So we're going to pick it up here after that 76 car. Do you remember when it switched over? Because by the time I got into it in 1990, Chuck, hardly anybody was building their own cars in the modified division. When did you go away from a car that you built to one that was built by someone else? Do you remember?
I'm guessing about 1990, and I purchased a Kneisel chassis and ran that for till like I believe 1983, and then I bought a chassis off Charlie Castle and Randy Kisacky were building chassis then in this area, and I bought a chassis off of them in '83, and that proved to be a really good car. The car really worked good. Had a lot of success with it.
Mm-hmm. How did the Kneisel car do? How did you do in that car that Dave
Kneisel car, it did good. And I'm trying to think. That might have been a four-bar car instead of coils in the front.
I see.
And it was a little bit different, but yeah, we won some races with that. And like I say, then when it got to 1983. We bought this car from the Kisacky car. That thing was amazing.
And by the way, this is the same guy, by the way, who was crew chief for Matt Shepard. So I guess I didn't realize that he was building cars all the way back then. How was that car different than that first car you picked up from Dave?
Well, I didn't buy that car from Dave, but I bought the chassis off a guy that had bought it brand new.
Gotcha.
And then he decided he wouldn't be able to race because he didn't have enough money. So I bought that off him.
Okay.
There's similar cars, just the way they built this car of the Kisacky Castle car. It's just I don't know, for some reason the way they built it, it was a good car.
And we're still.
I had success with that car.
Was that the first car that you really had a lot of success with?
Well, no, the other ones. Well, like we talked about the 76 car.
Mm-hmm. It's in the Hall of Fame.
And I built another one in 77, and we had success with both of them, really.
Okay.
And then we went to the Kneisel, and that was good. I don't know, it worked out for us. It worked good. But this other car that Charlie Castle and Randy built was really a super car.
Okay. By the way, we want to thank Ted Schmidt for the photo you're looking at in the background. He sent us a few from Chuck Akulis, so we really appreciate Ted doing that. Talked about some of the rivals, some of the people that you drove with. And I remember I was fairly new in this game in the mid-'90s, and I went down to 5 Mile Point, and they told me there were 2 guys to watch on the track. You were one of them. The other was Doug Worthing. Tell me a little bit about Doug Worthing.
Yeah, Doug Worthing, he actually, when he first started racing, bought one of my cars.
Really?
Yeah, bought, I can't remember which car it was even, but he did buy one of my cars, and he got started racing, and then he got hooked up with some different guys that, different owners, and he was really successful there. He was top dog there for a year or two.
How long did it take him to catch up to you? Because he was fairly newer at racing than you were, I'm assuming.
Well, he had raced for quite a while there until that point. But he had a car that when they allowed us to have alcohol and the big tires, he had a car there that we could not. I mean, we could compete, but he was having an advantage over us.
Oh, were you running on methanol too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened then? Wait a minute. Now I got to get my story straight here.
Okay.
When Yeah, so, yeah, I got my story way mixed up here. I'm way ahead of what I should have said.
Okay.
Okay, this car that I bought off Randy was when I still owned the cars, okay? And that car, like I said, it was exceptional. It won, I don't know, I got the statistics somewhere. It probably won 50 races. I'm not sure, but that car was, I owned it, and then I drove it in 83, 84, and 85. And then what changed everything in 85 was my son always worked on the car, my youngest son. He lost his life in a car accident.
I'm so sorry.
So that messed me all up. I mean, I was done. I quit. I would have quit in 85 right there, no question about it. I said I was done. And because it just, you know, it was something that really bothered me a lot.
I could see that, yeah.
And so that's how I ended up going with Randy. Well, he lost his life in October, and I don't know, January or February, Randy Kisacky called me. And Charlie Castle used to drive for him, and he was retiring. And so Randy wanted me to drive his car. And he called me up, and he's telling me all what he wanted to do. But I told him, I said, Randy, I can't do it. I said, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation for a while, and then Randy said, well, you think it over. So, okay, I was still thinking no in my mind. But, you know, 2-3 weeks later, I guess it was, I don't know. And, you know, I talked to my wife about it and everything, and I decided that maybe I'd try it, you know, half-heartedly in a way. But I said, you know, I knew Randy was a smart guy, and he had good cars. So I finally called him and said, okay, we'll give it a try. And that's how I ended up driving for him for 11 years.
Wow, 11 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see why you would have said, okay, I can't do this anymore. How tough was it when you got back in the car without your son there by your side?
It was very tough. Yeah, I mean, when we'd win races, for a long time, it really bothered me.
Yeah.
And so, but I dealt with it and got through it. I got it always, you never get over that. But
no.
So anyway, with Randy, we were doing some different things, going to different tracks more, and it was just a whole different experience. And it was really good for me because they took care of the car. I didn't even have to go to the garage or nothing.
Nice.
And I'd just take my stuff to the track, or we'd ride together and go to the track. And so that was easier on me because I had started a business and I was dealing with that too. So anyway, we just had so much success. Randy's such a smart guy. I mean, I can't say enough about him.
Yeah, Matt Shepard says the same thing today. I think he's still as smart as he was there. But the time has gone by again very quickly, so I've been taking notes, so we're going to get back with Chuck, and we're going to talk about Carl Nagel, about Mike Colston, get up in through the 90s a little bit and get into some of the stuff that some of you folks who are maybe a little more my age might remember from him. But I'm going to let you go now. And again, Chuck, I really appreciate you doing this, and I'll be back with you in a little bit here, and we'll kind of pick up where we left off. I took some good notes, but I hope you feel better. I know you've been dealing with a little bit of a cold, and I really do appreciate you spending some time with me, Chuck, on this. Really, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
And stick around. I just wanted to throw something by you after we go. But, guys, make sure to hit the likes, hit the subscribes. If you've got a question or something you'd like me to ask Chuck, just put it in the comments section, and I'll be happy to do that next time we do it. But, again, I've really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to get back with Chuck and share some more memories of racing from the good old days. Of course, you're listening right here on Elkins Video Productions on YouTube.